to Shanghai, I'm Chen Xuan.
Hi, I'm Timothy Prof. Most people agree that the green energy transition is important, but in so many countries it's run into trouble. It was a major topic under discussion at the recent World Economic Forum meeting in Tianjin, and on the sidelines of that event I spoke to Professor Elizabeth Thurbon, Director of the Green Energy Statecraft project at the University of New South Wales, to find out how the world turns that trend around. Professor Thurbon, thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to the World Economic Forum in Tianjin.
Thank you.
In a world where there's so much happening all the time, it feels like there's a once-in-a-lifetime event every week. How are we focusing on the energy transition? It feels as though the whole issue seems to have lost a bit of momentum. Is that accurate?
That's an excellent question, and I guess the answer to that question in some ways depends on where you look. So, for example, we have a lot of populist governments who are making the argument that the energy transition is, casting in the context of climate change, and therefore why should we bother? But actually, if you look more broadly and take a longer historical view, you see that the momentum for the energy transition has always really come from East Asia, and in particular from China, and that momentum now is only building and accelerating even in the context of this geopolitical uncertainty.
One of your fellow panellists this morning mentioned that he thought that the world was talking too much and not getting anything done on climate change and on the energy transition. Do you think that's a fair comment?
Well, again, I guess it really depends on where you look, doesn't it? Certainly that's not the case in China. China has built the world's largest renewable energy system. Its investments continue to accelerate at in an incredible pace. And one of the outcomes of that is that we have incredibly rapid decline in the costs of renewable energies. This is exactly what we need. We need enormous capacity. The question is, how can the world absorb that capacity in a way that is going to expedite the transition, but also deliver equitable outcomes.
You also mentioned the various purposes of the energy transition, and one thing I found quite interesting was you said there has been possibly too much focus on climate change as a reason for getting this energy transition done. Can you expand a little bit more on what you mean by that?
Yes, and so the point is certainly not to say that climate change isn't a problem. Of course, it's the problem. It's the existential problem facing the globe. But the issue is that particularly in the West, in my country, Australia, and certainly in many other countries, climate change has been almost the primary lens through which we've viewed the energy transition and prosecuted a case for the transition. But the reality is that if you look at China, which has built the world's largest renewable energy system and is leading the globe in the scale out of all these industries, it really rarely talks about as climate change as being the primary driver, because the Chinese government has been motivated by a much broader set of concerns. So, for example, it sees the energy transition as this incredible opportunity to advance an economic security agenda, and an energy security agenda, a social security agenda, and even a geostrategic agenda centred on projecting the image of a good green international citizen and a great development partner for developing countries who are looking to develop and decarbonise. So the point isn't that we shouldn't be talking about climate change, it's that we need to really refocus and broaden the lens and understand the energy transition, and the purpose of that transition is actually to advance this much more comprehensive and positive security enhancing agenda.
And I guess that sort of picks up on my next question. I was going to ask you about another term that you used in the panel, which was green energy statecraft. I guess that's what you're talking about there?
It's exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what we're working on at the Green Energy Statecraft project. So Green Energy Statecraft really describes this approach to the energy transition. It's understanding the transition as an opportunity to advance a comprehensive security enhancing agenda, to boost energy security, to boost economic security, to boost environmental security, social security and geostrategic security. And so we ask, what kind of of governance approach is up to that task. And that's much more than kind of green industry policy. We hear a lot about, oh, green industry policy, but that doesn't quite capture the level of ambition required and the level of coordinated and strategic governance that's required as well. And also the way in which the energy transition can catalyse wonderful new collaborative opportunities between countries that can collectively decarbonise.
Professor Thurbon, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
The world's largest Legoland resort officially opened this month in Shanghai. The Legoland Shanghai Resort was designed to be a theme park and hotel for kids aged 2 to 12 and their families. There are more than 75 interactive rides, shows and attractions, as well as thousands of Lego models. Now, Zhang Shixuan takes a look.
A land built with more than 85 million Lego bricks. This burger is 250 times the size of a Lego brick. Hey, come on in. Welcome to the room of the Lego world.
This is the bathroom. And Lego bricks here. This is the bedroom for children. You can see. 1, 2, and 3 beds.
Shanghai Resort. The first Legoland resort in China and the largest in the world. Actually, this resort is designed for kids aged 2 to 12 and their families. Obviously, I'm not in that target demographic. But let's see if I can still have a good time. And I decided to follow the map on the resort's official app. Starting with the boat tour, where you can get to see an array of Lego models along the river. So you can see the pond there. What I think I like the most are the models featuring China's iconic architecture, Shanghai skyline, and Shanghai's renowned Fengjing ancient town. And after that, you get to see some more entertainment options. Okay, this one is only for kids under 1 meter. While some of them are only available for little kids, some others can also carry adults. Some require parents and children to work together. If you are a fan of the Monkey Kid, you must come here, the first and only Legoland in the world that has a themed area dedicated to its own take on the iconic character, Monkey Kid. And then, there is an area featuring Ninja, with a huge Sakura tree built with Lego bricks. All the way along the street, you can run into different Lego-built characters. Hopefully, you can run into some you know and love. If you want to take that roller coaster in a Legoland, you can only do it in Shanghai now, because this is the first Legoland in the world that boasts this long roller coaster. And of course, it's hard to miss the park's Lego store. The biggest Legoland store in Asia, where you can find furry toys and shirts, all showing up for the first time in China. From kids to adults, Lego fans are having a blast. I
especially love the hotel design, and it's very colorful. The food tastes also very good, especially the desserts. They have Chinese elements in it, like Sun Wukong. Since I was 2, so I'm a really big fan of Lego. And I like the Lego Ninja. One time when I was little, I was in Japan, the Japan Lego Resort. Shanghai has more Chinese elements.
When you come to the resort, don't forget to pick the food from the variety of options. And that's it for the one-day tour at the Shanghai Legoland Resort. Good night.
Well, if you have any questions for us, you can find us on the socials.
We'd love to hear from you, and you can find all our content online and join us here, of course, on Dragon TV, Monday to Friday.
Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.
Bye-bye.